Now, a prominent British Muslim commentator who was on a speaking tour of the United States was detained over the weekend by immigration officials. Sami Hamdi was arrested by ICE officials in San Francisco on Sunday. Now, his visa was annulled on charges of his alleged ties to the Muslim Brotherhood. The journalist has been an outspoken critic of Israel and its war on Gaza. America's largest Muslim civil rights organization was outraged at the arrest.
Earlier this morning, ICE agents abducted British Muslim journalist and political commentator Sami Hamdi at San Francisco airport, apparently in response to his vocal criticism of the Israeli government during his ongoing speaking tour. In the meantime, everyone should recognize that arresting a British citizen legally visiting the United States because he dared to criticize a foreign nation's genocide is our government's latest blatant affront to free speech.
Let's get some more reaction to this now and speak to lead attorney and founder of Muslim Legal, Hassan Shibli. Hassan, I'm glad to have you join me now. So we understand that Sami Hamdi was on his way to speak together with you on the Council on American Islamic Relations. Speak to us. What was your initial reaction to the news of his arrest?
Both heartbreak and outrage. I mean, Sammy's a wonderful individual. I had the pleasure of spending some time with him. Always a beautiful smile, always surrounded by youth and having beautiful conversations about how we can make the world better through human rights advocacy, through philanthropy, through standing up for the oppressed and the unjust. And I honestly, on a personal level, was just looking forward to hosting him here in Tampa and spending time with him. And when I heard that anti-Muslim bigots that put Israel first had been targeting him to the point where they got the federal government to unjustly detain him and stop him from coming and joining us last night, honestly, it both enraged me, but it also motivated me in the community to stand up, to stand strong for him. We had a record number of donations and a very successful fundraising event yesterday. I think it's very ironic because I think they actually tried to stop him in an effort to intimidate the American Muslim community, to scare us, and the community came out in full force. We raised over $1 million last night to fight the exact kind of injustice that Sami faced. And right now we are in touch with his friends and family members across the world, really trying to mobilize for his immediate release, because Sami's effectively right now turned into a political prisoner. Right now in the year 2025, America openly is taking political prisoners. He was targeted for his criticism of Israel. That's insane. The American government is right now destroying American liberties for the benefit of a foreign nation that's been engaging in genocide. I mean, it's just utterly outrageous, and it's very shameful for us as Americans, and I think it really jeopardizes the future of American liberty. Now it's true he's not a citizen. He's here as a visitor with a valid visa, but he was arrested domestically because of his free expression of political opinions the government doesn't like, and that's what the government basically does to intimidate American citizens. It's trying to scare us from exercising our freedom and our liberty, and we will not stand for it.
All right, he's standing on the grounds of his arrest. Now, as a lawyer, speak to us. How legal are the actions of the ICE agents? How can they annul a perfectly legal visa and arrest a British national? Speak to us about this.
Well, I mean, I would argue that it isn't legal. I would argue it's a violation of the U.S. Constitution. I would argue that the U.S. Constitution and the protection of the Bill of Rights and freedom of speech does apply to visitors. Now, the way they try to get around it is they tried to say, well, we're determining that these foreigners are a threat to American interests, and therefore we have the right to revoke a visa. And the government does claim jurisdiction to revoke people's visas. But the problem is when they start revoking visas based on legitimate political opinions. And what are these political opinions? They're simply that Israel should not be allowed to commit genocide, that Americans shouldn't be sending billions of our tax dollars to support a genocide, to support an apartheid criminal terrorist state of Israel. He's being targeted for basically promoting American first values and ideals. And that's an affront, an attack against all of our freedom and all of our liberty. What they're trying to do is stifle free speech. When they can target more easily visitors, their real intention is to make sure that the American population, American citizens like myself, would then be too scared to advocate for those same positions. But I think they're going to find it's going to have the opposite effect. It's only going to inspire us to work harder to protect American liberty for all.
Now, what do you make of the charges? They say alleged ties to the Muslim Brotherhood and praise for Hamas actions. Was any evidence provided for this?
Absolutely none. Absolutely none. I mean, and these aren't even real charges. I mean, I think it's ridiculous. So what we've seen in the United States is very strong anti-Muslim, pro-Israel, Jewish extremist, Zionist funders, billionaires that have really bought out the U.S. government. I mean, you saw President Trump talking about Miriam Adelson, who has billions of dollars always coming into the White House to promote an Israel first agenda. And he even admitted that she probably loves Israel more than America. What these people are doing is they're spending millions and millions of dollars to paint all Muslims in America as a threat because they're afraid of our advocacy for Palestine, which is really an advocacy for America first and foremost. I mean, we're saying as Americans, look, our tax dollars should stay at home for fellow Americans. It shouldn't be sent to a foreign nation so that it can commit a genocide and injustice. So what they try to do is paint all of us Muslims as part of some foreign political entity, the Muslim Brotherhood, and therefore try to target us all. It's nonsense. It's fear-mongering. It's like the Red Scare that America faced previously. It's utterly shameful, and we will not stand for it.
Now, looking beyond the allegations they're affronting, what, in your opinion, could be the deeper reasons for the arrest in your assessment?
Well, I think it's a very clear attempt to stifle free speech and to basically intimidate those of us that question why our government is sending billions of dollars to Israel and enabling and supporting it to commit crimes against humanity. And this is the sad thing for Americans, is that our government right now is not America first. It's not serving the American people. It's subjugated to the interests of a parasitic foreign nation that is Israel, that has committed the worst crimes against humanity live on social media for the whole world to see. I think it's simply because Sami criticized Israel. Had he been supporting the genocide, had he been celebrating the murder of Palestinian children, he would have been welcomed like the war criminal Netanyahu and his top military leadership. All of those guys have been charged with war crimes, and yet they're welcomed with open arms in the U.S. But when you dare to criticize Israel, the government's trying to send a message that they will target you. I mean, even in Nevada recently, one of Netanyahu's close advisors and employees was caught trying to have sex with a child, a 15-year-old, and the government quickly got that person out of the country so that he could escape prosecution. Meanwhile, Sami Hamdi, who's condemning the murder of children, is targeted and arrested. What does that tell us about ourselves as a nation and where our priorities are when we're protecting Israeli pedophiles and we're targeting Muslim human rights activists? That's a great stain on us as a nation.
Now, after Mr. Hamdi's arrest, there were a number of anti-Muslim posts by prominent politicians and commentators in the United States. Now, do you think we are seeing a public rise in Islamophobia?
Well, I think it's a manufactured and orchestrated rise, because what's happening is the American people are waking up and they're like, why are our politicians putting Israel first? Why are they sending billions of dollars overseas to Israel? Why we can't criticize Israel without potentially losing our job, without having relatives facing deportation? And they're starting to see maybe the Zionists are controlling America, and maybe we're losing our freedom and our liberty. So in response, they're promoting this utter nonsense that Muslims are a threat and that Muslims are controlling this country and that Muslims are a danger. But that's actually a confession. Every accusation of theirs is a confession. They are the expert gaslighters. They are the ones that are controlling Congress. They're the ones that are shifting the media narrative to support genocide. They're the ones that are punishing people who condemn the genocide. But when you call them out on it, they try to basically have a decoy and just paint Muslims as a threat, when we're actually the solution. We as the American Muslim community are calling for justice, for the protection of human rights, for free speech, and for keeping American tax dollars at home for Americans, not sending it to a foreign nation.
Now, before I let you go, the world is watching us right now. I would ask you, if you are in the same room, say, with leadership in the United States and even leaders in the West, what would you tell them about how things are going and the potential consequences?
We need to think long term. Democracies don't turn into dictatorships overnight, but at the same time, you cannot take our freedom and our liberty for granted. All we are asking is for our leadership to keep America first. Let's keep our tax dollars at home. And most importantly, let us stop destroying American liberties enshrined in the Constitution, like freedom of speech for the protection of a foreign nation. I think that is the greatest form of treason, when you punish people within the United States for condemning a foreign nation, when you undermine the American Constitution because you want to protect a foreign nation and you want to punish those who say, hey, keep our tax dollars at home and stop sending our tax dollars to support war crimes of a foreign nation. So I'm just calling on Americans to support America First, politicians that are truly America First, like Thomas Macy, like Major Green in Atlanta. There's great politicians that are saying, let's keep our tax dollars at home and let's stop undermining American liberty. That's what we need to do.
All right.
Marjorie
Well, we have to
Taylor
leave you
Greene
here
in
now.
Atlanta is
Okay.
yes.
Thank you very much, Hassan Shibli, lead attorney and founder of Muslim Legal. We appreciate what you do. Thank you.
Thank you. God bless you.
Great.